Right now, somewhere in Australia, there is a 58-year-old staring at a superannuation balance on a Tuesday night, wondering if it is truly enough. They have done everything right, paid their taxes, raised a family, and diligently contributed to super for over 30 years. Yet the vision of what retirement actually looks like remains a mystery. Most people obsess over a single magic number, $1 million, $3 million, or $5 million, as if crossing a threshold automatically unlocks a perfect life. In reality, what matters isn't the number itself, but the income that number produces, the specific lifestyle it funds, and how long that capital needs to last. To understand this, we need to walk through three very different retirement scenarios in the Australian context. We begin with the figure most commonly cited as the gold standard, $1 million. For context, the average Australian reaching age 67 in 2026 has a super balance between $390,000 and $450,000. Treasury projections suggest that only about 7% of people retiring today have reached the $1 million mark. If you have $1 million, you are already well ahead of the curve. At a 4% withdrawal rate, which aligns with government minimum drawdown requirements for those under 65 in the pension phase, $1 million provides an annual income of $40,000. Because this income is typically tax-free for those over 60 in the pension phase, you keep the full amount. This level of funding becomes particularly interesting when you factor in the Australian age pension. As you draw down on your super and your asset balance decreases, you will likely qualify for a part age pension. Currently, a full age pension for a single person is roughly $31,223, while a couple receives about $47,700. The Association of Superannuation Funds of Australia, or ASFA, suggests that a comfortable retirement for a single homeowner costs about $54,840 a year and $77,735 for a couple. At the $1 million level, a retiree can live a genuinely comfortable life, maintaining a decent car, eating out regularly, taking domestic holidays, and keeping up with private health insurance. However, the absolute pivot point at this level is home ownership. If you own your home outright, $1 million is plenty. If you are renting, your costs could jump by $20,000 to $30,000 a year, which effectively cuts your disposable income in half and turns a comfortable retirement into a tight one. This is why paying off a mortgage is often cited as the single most powerful move for a future retiree. Stepping up to the $3 million mark, retirement begins to feel genuinely free. A 4% withdrawal here generates $120,000 a year tax-free. This is more than double what is required for a standard comfortable retirement. At this level, the lifestyle shifts toward high-end choices, multiple overseas trips per year, luxury vehicles, home renovations, and the ability to help children with housing deposits without compromising your own security. There's a psychological shift from scarcity to choice. You're no longer scrambling to cover bills, you're choosing where your wealth goes. However, $3 million introduces new complexities, specifically regarding Division 296 tax. Starting July 2026, earnings on super balances above $3 million will face an additional 15% tax, bringing the effective rate to 30%. Furthermore, the transfer balance cap limits how much you can move into the tax-free pension phase, currently capped at $2 million, rising to $2.1 million in mid-2026. This means that while a large portion of your wealth remains in a beautiful tax-free zone, the remainder stays in the accumulation phase, taxed at 15%. Additionally, at $3 million, you will not qualify for any age pension due to the asset test. Every dollar must come from your own savings, making a structured drawdown strategy and professional financial advice essential to ensure your investments are allocated correctly for the long term. Finally, we look at the top tier, $5 million. At a 4% drawdown, this portfolio throws off $200,000 a year. Even after accounting for the higher taxes on balances over $3 million, you're looking at an after-tax income of roughly $170,000 to $180,000. At this level, retirement is no longer just about comfort, it's about total optionality. You could spend 3 months a year in Europe, maintain a holiday home on the coast, or fund your grandchildren's entire education. If a health issue arises, you can book the best specialist in the country for the following day without a second thought. If you want to escape a cold southern winter for a season in Queensland, you simply go. At $5 million, the conversation shifts from funding a lifestyle to managing a legacy. Estate planning becomes as critical as retirement planning. You're making decisions about how your wealth will impact your family and your community long after you're gone. Interestingly, the lifestyle gap between $1 million and $3 million is massive. It represents the difference between a modest life and complete financial freedom. The gap between $3 million and $5 million is smaller in terms of daily happiness. It's more about the scale of your generosity and the breadth of your legacy. The reality that the superannuation industry rarely highlights is that you don't necessarily need $1 million to retire well in Australia. Because the system is designed for the age pension to fill the gaps, a single homeowner may only need $630,000 in super, and a couple $730,000 to reach the ASFA comfortable standard. The Australian system is a partnership between your private savings and the government safety net. The ultimate question is not, how much do I need, but what kind of life do I want to live? To find your number, you must work backward. Calculate the cost of your ideal week, including groceries, fuel, hobbies, and travel. That annual total is your true target. Retirement isn't about hitting a specific number on a digital screen. It's about the sovereignty of your time. It's the ability to wake up on a Monday morning and decide exactly how you want to spend your day, whether that's traveling the world, volunteering, or simply enjoying a quiet coffee on the back deck with nowhere else to be. By understanding these 3 tiers, you can stop obsessing over the number and start planning for the life you actually want to live.